Hello everyone and welcome back to American English Daily. I'm Jessica, your host for today's session. If this is your first time joining us, just a heads up, we upload a brand new English learning video every single day. Our goal is to help you achieve fluency and confidence in English at an accelerated pace. In today's episode, we're going to sharpen your English listening skills and boost your ability to understand fast, real-life conversations. We're tackling a super practical and important topic: how to comprehend native English speakers when they're speaking quickly. If you've ever watched a movie, a YouTube video, or even just tried chatting with a native speaker and felt like their words were just zipping by too fast, don't worry, you're definitely not alone. Fast English can feel overwhelming, but the good news is that with the right techniques and some consistent daily practice, you can train your ears and your brain to understand native-level English smoothly and naturally. We'll be looking at real-life examples, practical tips, and simple daily exercises that will help you catch natural English, understand sentence rhythm, and recognize connected speech, the stuff that native speakers use all the time. By the end of this video, you'll have the tools to break through the speed barrier in English listening and feel more confident when you're talking to people who speak quickly. Before we dive into the lesson, don't forget to subscribe to the channel and hit that bell icon if you want more helpful English learning episodes like this one. So, grab a notebook and a pen or pencil and let's get started. Understanding fast native English speakers can feel a bit like trying to catch a speeding train. You hear sounds, but they all blur together. Words get skipped, sentences run into each other, and just when you think you've understood something, the conversation has already moved on. This is something that almost every English learner experiences, especially when they move beyond textbooks and into real-life English situations. But here's the truth: fast English isn't impossible to understand. It's just different from what you might have learned in traditional classes. Native speakers speak with a rhythm. They use contractions. They link words together. They sometimes skip sounds that seem unnecessary to them. And they speak with emotion, speed, and tone. What you need isn't just vocabulary and grammar. What you need is exposure, awareness, and practice. And that's exactly what we'll be working on in this lesson. Let's start by understanding why native speakers sound so fast. It's not because they're trying to be difficult. It's simply the way natural language works. When people are fluent and comfortable, words get connected. For example, instead of saying "what are you doing" logically, a native speaker might say "what you doing" instead of "I am going to." You'll often hear "I'm going to." These shortcuts make conversations flow faster and smoother. That's why, even though you might know the individual words, when you hear them squished together, your brain doesn't recognize them quickly. Native speakers also use stress and intonation differently. They emphasize some words while softening or swallowing others. For example, in the sentence, "I didn't say he stole the money," Depending on which word is stressed, the meaning changes completely. So, understanding fast English isn't only about hearing all the words. It's about catching the rhythm, stress, and patterns. Now, let's talk about connected speech. This is one of the biggest reasons why fast English sounds so hard to understand. Connected speech means that when people speak quickly, they join words together in ways that sound different from when you read them. For example, do you want to eat becomes do you want to eat and could you help me out becomes could you help me out. The sounds blend. Sometimes letters are dropped like the T in want to, and sometimes new sounds appear between words like a Y sound or a soft CH sound. This is completely normal in native conversation, and the more you listen to it, the easier it becomes to recognize. Let's try a simple listening practice together. I'll say a sentence slowly first and then naturally. You try to hear the difference. First slow. Did you eat already? Now, naturally. Did you eat already? Did you hear that change? Did you becomes did you try repeating it after me? Did you eat already? Let's try another one slow. What are you going to do? Fast. What you going to do? Try repeating it. What you going to do? These might seem difficult at first, but repeating them daily helps your ears get used to natural patterns. Listening and repeating is one of the best ways to improve. You don't have to understand every word at first. Just start by recognizing the pattern. That alone will give your brain a huge head start in future conversations. Now, here's a helpful exercise you can do every evening. Take a short conversation clip from a movie, TV show, or a YouTube video. Listen to it once without subtitles. Try to catch the main idea. Then listen again with subtitles. Pause after every sentence and repeat it out loud the way it sounds, not the way it's written. Try to copy the tone, the speed, and the emotion. This kind of shadowing practice is one of the most powerful tools for improving your listening and speaking at the same time. It trains your mouth to move like a native speaker and your brain to listen in real time. Remember, when you only read English, your eyes lead the way. But when you listen, your ears take control. So, give them the exercise they need. You can also start noticing common contractions and informal phrases. Instead of I do not know, native speakers often say I don't know. Instead of let me help you, they'll say let me help you. These small changes add up to a big difference in how English sounds in real life. And here's something important. Don't worry if you can't understand everything right away. Even native speakers sometimes miss things when someone speaks too quickly. Okay, let's get into some practical techniques to boost your listening skills. Remember, the goal is progress, not perfection. Each time you grasp a new phrase, you're strengthening your brain's ability to listen. A great daily exercise is what I call the 1-minute rewind. Pick a 1-minute video clip in English, preferably with native speakers. Watch it once without subtitles. Then rewind and watch it again, focusing on just one sentence. Try to catch every single word. If you miss something, rewind again, pause after each sentence and repeat it out loud. The key here is to train your ears gradually. 1 minute a day might not seem like much, but if you stick with it every day for a month, your ears will become more attuned, your reactions will be quicker, and your comprehension will deepen. Now, let's talk about real-world English. The kind you hear in cafes, on the streets of New York, in movies, or when chatting with native English speakers. This English isn't always polished or formal. It's full of expressions, slang, and natural, sometimes messy, speech patterns. For example, you might hear someone say, "Let me grab a bite," instead of "Let me get something to eat." Or "I'm going to head out," which means I'm going to leave. These are everyday phrases that might not be in textbooks, but they're used all the time in real life. The more you expose yourself to them, the better your understanding will become. To prepare your brain for this kind of English, try watching TV shows or videos where real conversations take place. Start with content that has subtitles and then move on to videos without subtitles. You can even try listening to podcasts or audio clips while you're doing daily tasks like cooking or walking. Immersing yourself in real spoken English every day will gradually adjust your ear to the speed and rhythm of native speakers. Another highly effective method for improving your listening is called dictation practice. Here's how it works. Play a short audio clip, just 1 or 2 sentences. Listen carefully and try to write down exactly what you hear. Even if you miss some words, don't worry. Just do your best, then play it again and fill in the missing parts. Do this 2 or 3 times until you think your sentence is complete. Finally, compare what you've written with the transcript or subtitles. This simple exercise helps you notice which words are difficult to catch and why. Maybe they're being connected, maybe they're reduced, or maybe you just haven't heard them enough times before. Dictation helps improve your concentration, memory, and spelling all at the same time. It's especially useful for catching those little words like to, of, and that often disappear in fast speech. Let's try a quick example. I'll say a sentence quickly and you try to write it down. Ready? I should have told you earlier. I'll repeat it. I should have told you earlier. Did you catch that? Most native speakers won't say, "I should have told you earlier." They'll say, "should have." One small blended word. Go ahead and repeat it. I should have told you earlier. That's how real English sounds. The more you practice hearing and writing these sentences, the easier it becomes to follow fast conversations. Now let's talk about chunking, a very powerful way to improve understanding in natural speech. People don't speak word by word. They speak in chunks or groups of words. For example, instead of hearing "how are you" as 3 separate words, your brain should hear it as one sound. How are you? Instead of "do you want to go?" it's heard as "do you want to go?" These chunks come from common patterns and repeated phrases. When your brain begins to recognize these as full units, You won't have to translate word by word anymore. This means your brain will work faster and more efficiently. So, how do you train for chunking? Simple. By listening to the same phrases over and over in context. Watch interviews, dialogues, or shows where the same structures appear. Repeat them out loud. Make them part of your daily language. Soon, you'll start recognizing the chunks automatically, even in fast speech. Another practice method that helps a lot is what I like to call the listen and imagine method. This helps you follow fast English using mental pictures. For example, if you hear someone say, "We grabbed some coffee and headed downtown," you don't need to think about every single word. Instead, picture it. Imagine two friends getting coffee and walking into the city. This kind of mental visualization connects language with real experience. It improves understanding without needing to slow things down. You stop translating and start experiencing English. That's how native speakers understand each other, not by analyzing every word, but by processing ideas quickly. Practice this by listening to short dialogues and trying to imagine the scene like a movie in your mind. It makes the language come alive. Now, let's do a little imagination practice. Close your eyes and listen carefully. Imagine this scene. She ran out of the house, jumped into the car, and drove off without saying a word. Did you see it in your mind? That's the goal. You didn't need to understand every syllable. You followed the meaning because you connected it to a picture. This helps even more when native speakers speak quickly. Instead of catching individual words, your mind catches the whole meaning. That's a powerful skill, and you can build it with just 5 minutes a day of this kind of practice. At this point, it's also important to talk about patience and mindset. Understanding fast English isn't something that happens overnight. It takes time, and it's okay if you don't understand everything right away. The key is not to give up. Every time you hear native English, even if you miss words, you are training your ears. You are making progress, and progress, even if it's slow, is real. Think of listening like exercise. The more you do, the stronger you get. Okay, let's dive deeper into some practical techniques to keep improving your ability to understand fast English. Remember, the more you practice, the stronger you become. It's not about catching every single word. It's about catching more words today than you did yesterday. Celebrate those small victories and you'll feel motivated to keep going. Here's another practice exercise you can try called repeat after pause. Find a short video or audio clip, just about a minute long. Play one sentence, then pause it. Try to repeat exactly what you heard, then play the next sentence and repeat again. This shadowing technique helps train your pronunciation, rhythm, and listening skills all at once. The more you practice, the more fluent your speech becomes and the better your ears get at catching fast English. Even 5 minutes a day with this method can make a huge difference over time. As we continue, I want to share a very helpful habit that many fluent English learners use. It's called active listening. Active listening means you don't just hear the words. You try to understand what's behind them. You pay attention to the tone, the emotion, and the speed. Native speakers often speak quickly, but they also slow down or raise their voice when something is important. For example, if someone says, "I really don't want to go," the word really is stretched and emphasized. This is a clue. It tells you the speaker's feeling is strong. You don't need to understand every word to get the message. You just have to listen actively. Practice this by watching short dialogues and noticing how people express emotions with their voice. Soon, you'll start catching meaning even when the language is fast. Another way to improve is by building your background knowledge. Let's say you're watching a video about shopping, travel, or food. If you already know a little about the topic, it's much easier to follow along, even if the speaker is fast. Why? Because your brain already expects some of the vocabulary and structure. It can predict what's coming next. This is called context-based understanding. So, try to choose listening material related to topics you're familiar with. If you like cooking, watch cooking videos. If you love sports, listen to sports commentary. Your brain will fill in the blanks more easily when the subject is familiar. This builds both listening confidence and vocabulary at the same time. Let's do another small exercise to apply what we've learned. I'll describe a scene in fast but natural English. Try to catch the main idea and build a picture in your mind. Here we go. So, I was running late for work, spilled coffee on my shirt, missed the bus, and had to call a ride just to make it to the meeting. Now, pause. What happened? Here, you might not have caught every word, but you probably understood that the speaker had a rushed and stressful morning. That's the goal. Focus on the meaning, not perfection. Real English is about understanding the message, not catching every syllable. Let's talk about pronunciation now, because this is key to understanding native English. Native speakers connect words in ways that might feel strange to learners. For example, what do you want to eat becomes what do you want to eat? Or did you see it becomes did you see it? These connections are completely natural, but they make the sentence harder to understand if you're expecting perfect word separation. One way to get used to this is by practicing connected speech yourself. Try to repeat what you hear exactly how you hear it. Say going to instead of going to. Say W to instead of want to. This may feel informal, but it's how English is actually spoken, and understanding connected speech is one of the fastest ways to improve your listening. Another practice technique is the echo method. Play a sentence from a native speaker and then immediately try to repeat it with the same speed and rhythm, like an echo. For example, if the sentence is, "I can't believe he said that," you repeat it right after, with the same energy and pace. This helps your tongue and brain get used to how fast English feels. At first, you might miss words, but after a few tries, you'll notice improvement. This method not only helps you understand fast English, it also helps you speak more naturally. Now, let's touch on a big challenge. Unfamiliar accents. Not all native English speakers sound the same. There are American, British, Australian, and many other accents, and even within those countries, there are different regional ways of speaking. For example, someone from New York may speak differently from someone in California. Someone from London may sound very different from someone in Scotland. So, how do you train for that? Expose yourself to as many accents as possible. Watch videos from different English-speaking countries. Listen to podcasts, interviews, or even songs with various accents. This helps your brain become flexible. It stops expecting just one correct way of speaking, and that flexibility will allow you to understand people no matter where they're from. Here's a short scene using an informal American accent. Hey man, I'm heading out soon. You coming or not? Notice the dropped G in heading and coming and the use of casual phrases. These are very common in friendly conversations. Try repeating it a few times. Hey man, I'm heading out soon. You coming or not? The more you listen and repeat, the more natural this kind of English becomes to you. Now, let's add a few tips for watching English movies or shows. First, don't worry if you don't understand everything. Start by watching with subtitles in English. Watch one scene, then replay it without subtitles and see how much you can understand. Try pausing after each line and repeating it out loud. You can even write down useful phrases. For example, in a movie scene where someone says, "We've got to hurry," or "We'll miss the train," you can note that "we've got to" is another way of saying "we have to." Building on those small discoveries makes you more comfortable with real-world English and helps you expand your listening vocabulary. Now, let's explore how songs can boost your English skills. Music is a fantastic tool for training your ears. Pick a song you enjoy and find the lyrics. Listen to it once without looking at the words, then listen again while reading along. Finally, try singing along. This method helps you become familiar with natural rhythm, intonation, and how words link together. Many song lyrics use everyday language. For instance, in the song "I'm Going to Find Another You," the phrase "going to" is often shortened to "gonna." These details teach you how real people speak, and because music is enjoyable and evokes emotion, your brain remembers it more easily. Let's do one more practice paragraph together. I'm going to say it naturally and a little quickly, so try to follow along. We were supposed to meet at 7, but I got stuck in traffic and then couldn't find parking, so I ended up getting there almost an hour late. That was a fast real-life situation. Try to repeat it after me. We were supposed to meet at 7, but I got stuck in traffic and then couldn't find parking, so I ended up getting there almost an hour late. If that feels too long, break it into smaller parts. The more you repeat it, the easier it becomes. And finally, remember that improving your listening skills isn't just about listening more. It's about listening better. Be intentional. Choose content that challenges you a little but not too much. Set daily or weekly goals. Maybe you listen to one podcast episode each day, or maybe you do 3 dictation exercises each week. Whatever you choose, keep it consistent. Improvement comes from small, steady steps every day, not from big steps. Once in a while, your ears will improve. Your understanding will get better. And one day you'll suddenly realize that you understand English without trying so hard. So, let's quickly review your path to understanding fast native English speakers. You've learned about connected speech, reduced forms, chunking, shadowing, and active listening. You've done exercises using imagination, dictation, and repetition. You've practiced understanding through real conversations and become familiar with different accents. All of these are powerful tools that will continue to help you even after this video ends. The only thing you need to do is keep going. Make English a part of your life, not just a subject you study, but a language you live with. The more time you spend with it, the more natural it becomes. And soon you won't just understand fast native English, you'll enjoy it. So, grab your notebook and go back to practice the exercises again. Make sure you repeat the phrases in chunks. Listen daily to short conversations and push yourself a little every day. With time, your ears will catch up, your brain will speed up, and your confidence will grow. Thank you so much for watching today's episode of Confident Speaking Podcast. I hope you learned something valuable and feel more motivated to improve your English listening. If you found this video helpful, don't forget to like, share, and of course, subscribe to the channel, and make sure to hit the bell icon so you never miss another episode. This is Jessica, your host, signing off. For now, keep practicing, keep listening, and remember, English fluency is just one conversation away. See you in the next